Hi everybody, welcome to my podcast. Art. I want to talk about art and artifacts and how they hold certain energy. And that's why you will actually be drawn to certain paintings. It's not just the technical skill that the artist use, but it's what's emanating off the painting. People who imbue their soul into their work, into their paintings, are people who usually attract people to the painting. When they come from the soul, less from the technical human side, the actual painting or the illustration, the art, it'll all have a feeling to it. You actually connect into a feeling. For example, if you've ever seen the painting with the scream, when you look at it, it has a feeling to it. Every human can probably relate to that one. And then when you have a look at any of Monet's work, you can feel that he really loved what he was painting, the love of that those flowers are actually coming towards you. You can feel it. It's not just about the painting. When you do art or when you buy art for your house, make sure that it resonates with you on a soul level, that when you look at it, you feel something, you feel some beauty or some peace or some love for that painting. It will often be coming off the canvas or off the print. It doesn't have to be. It's sort of like transferred, even though it's not the original. You'll still get the feeling, and you will go like into the painting. This is why people will like different things, and that the painting or the drawing will actually speak to them, and they will have a connection with that because it's an emotional connection. And that's what I'm talking about. It's not just that it was very technically drawn, and it might have been, but there's an actual emotional connection. And so when the person was actually doing the painting or the drawing, they had an emotion around that they were trying to convey consciously or unconsciously. When I do my paintings, which are more to do with colour and they're more abstracted, they will have a feel about them. So when I see a picture, sometimes I've seen a picture of a painting I'm about to do, and then I wake up and then I'll just go and paint it. And it will have a feeling about it. And not everyone will be drawn to the paintings. It'll just be that it sort of has a healing effect on people who have it in their house or who have a look at it. And that's the other part, that on a vibrational level, art and artifacts can heal us because they have a certain vibration, and we might need that vibration in our house or around us. It's also the reason why if we do a lot of work on ourselves and we change the vibration of our aura, and particularly if we clear a lot of rubbish out of our aura energetically, then sometimes some of the art we had bought earlier, which was speaking to us, isn't speaking in the same language to us now, or we don't need it as much. I noticed that some of the things that I used to really love, I just put them away because they didn't really serve any purpose, and I had new things. Other things continued to speak to me. Even with the extra work I'd done on myself, there was a feeling around them and a soul around them. Photography will also come into this group because when someone captures something, they're not just capturing the scene, they're maybe also capturing some part of the emotion of that, the beauty of that, and that, or the pathos of that scene. You can also relate to that. Sometimes art also is reflective of where we've been emotionally when we're young, or situations that we've been in that we recognise in the painting or the art, and that will resonate with us. But don't be scared or unsure about putting things away or passing them on. If you had a painting or a drawing or something and now it doesn't really speak to you, and you'll know that because you virtually never see it, when it's on the wall you don't see it anymore, you can move it first and see if that changes. And if it does, you can give it away or pass it on to someone else. We don't have to have that energy with us if it no longer suits us or it's no longer good for us. If you're a person who likes to do art, try and imbue your feeling and your soul and your energy into your art. Like, try to put it in there when you're doing it consciously, and then it will come and reflect back off the page. That's what you'll notice. It'll actually reflect back off the page. It'll also help you understand why some people will like certain things and you won't, and vice versa. It's because of the energetic connection to that piece of art or the work. If we need it, we'll often have it. If we recognise it, we'll often have it. So if it's part of where we've been or part of our emotional consciousness, we will also recognize it. Sometimes it's also the soul. If we've enjoyed that kind of work in other past lives, it will resonate. I've got paintings, copies obviously, of paintings that were done in other areas, and I'm sure some of them I've had before in my houses that I loved. So there were things I loved. And sometimes it's also the way the light is. For example, I really love Turner's work because I like the light, because actually that reminds me of heaven, really, and the spiritual life and the spiritual places that we'll go to after we die. I can see that light there. Do what feels comfortable for you. Have in your home what works for you. If you're living with someone that they don't like, I just explain to them that I want to have it up because it feeds my soul and it's good for me. You might also have to do the same thing for them. There could be kind of stipulations. I remember my husband had this big rug he'd bought, and it was like of a bullfight, and they were stabbing the bull in the bullfight scene. He'd got it on one of his travels, and it was beautifully actually done. But when he hung it up, I just couldn't bear having it in the house with this poor animal with all the blood coming out of it, because the actual situation for me was just too ghastly. And we spoke about it, and I think we had it up for a few years, and I put it in places. I didn't go much, but eventually it went to the shed. It just didn't resonate with me. But for him, it was part of his travels. It reminded him of when he'd gone around on the ship, gone perhaps to those places near Spain. So for him, it had a different thing. He didn't see the blood. He just saw that this part of his travels. When you paint or when you draw or whatever art you do, it's your art and it's got your vibration in it. And that's why sometimes when you go to the shed and pull some of your old stuff out, it doesn't speak to you anymore. It's where you've been, it's not where you are now. And it's okay to repaint it. I just repaint white. I paint over it again, and then I do another one. Because I was part of that process and I enjoyed it when I did it, and it was very healing for me, but now I don't need it. So it's okay to just move on. Don't feel bad about that. As we progress, our art will also be different, what we like and also what we do. And so understand that as you're changing vibrationally, so will your art. You can also ask Spirit to help you channel your art and your drawings to help you. I've done that quite a lot to help me to channel whatever they want me to draw or to paint. And I found that really good because it just came out, and it usually will find the piece will paint itself or draw itself like really quickly. You won't be poring over it for very long sometimes, and you'll think, wow, that was quick. And that's usually being channeled. And you can also ask for other artists to come in and help you, spiritual artists and painters to come in and help you and guide you. I used to be asked to take to the art rooms and the drawing rooms at night when I was asleep so they could teach and instruct me. So then when I woke up in the next few weeks, I can just paint. Enjoy your art, enjoy your paintings, enjoy it if you do it, but just understand that it's feeding you energetically, it's helping your aura, and those colours might be what you need at the time. So if you land up having lots of blue paintings, you need that for your throat chakra, and if you land up having a lot of pink paintings, or your house is even painted pink, your bedrooms and that, maybe you need more love in your life because pink is the colour of love. I hope you look around now at your art and see it from a vibrational and vibrationally feeding point of view, and will help you to not only access it more, but enjoy it as well. So I'm wishing you lots of love and light.